Hey, we back. We live. We here. What's happening with it? What's going on? Hey man, we letting people get a chance to come in, but we got a good one for you. We're gonna talk about some good, cool things today, man, and I'm excited. But y'all already know, man. Before we get started, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, so that way you updated on when the next videos drops, when the shorts drop, all of that, man. The people that be watching, commenting, I appreciate you. I see you, my boy Credit. I see you with the comments. Appreciate you. But yeah, man. Um, as y'all know, I am a certified coach, and one thing that I teach my clients on is what I call the 4 pillars to live your best life. The 2P2F system is what I typically train and teach and create, with my clients. So definitely, if you want to, you know, book a consultation with me so that way I can show you how to live your best life and get to your best self, right? We can get that going. Gentlemanscounsel.com. Click on the consultation button, services, and hit me up. Or you can always just straight email me at ask at gentlemanscounsel.com. And yes, I have a little accent, so that is ask dot gentlemanscounsel.com. That southern draw. But yeah, man, y'all see the title. Uh, is Floyd Mayweather broke? The money persona versus the truth, right? And so, of course, as you know, we're going to talk about the financial pillar today. I think that's very, very important and something that everyone needs. And a lot of times, when people come to me, this is one of the things that they have to get their life, in balance. So we're going to talk about the financial pillar. And, it's always easy for us to use some of the examples of what we see kind of going on. And we can definitely, learn from this situation. So let's get right into it. One thing I learned, even not only just in this situation, but overall, right? You don't need $1 billion to learn from this. Like, you don't. So whether you're making 50K, 50 million, right? The principle of financial pillar remains the same. If you don't hear anything in this video, you need to hear this. Protect your base, automate your savings, and never let your lifestyle outrun your actual wealth. Because this is so important in the financial pillar, I'm going to say it again. And this is what I teach. Protect your base, automate your savings, and never let your lifestyle outrun your actual wealth. So what does that mean? What does that mean, right? Because we know a lot of people, and we can definitely see with athletes, right? Normally in the headlines, 5, 6, 7, 8 years after, they have finished playing, they tend to go broke, right? Money's not coming in, but you still live in the same lifestyle. You're still taking care of your people, right? You got payrolls, all of those things that you've been taking care of, giving people money, the cars, the jewelry, all of these different things. You trying to continue to live that way, and you can't. You got to tone it down. In fact, I don't understand why you're living that way in the first place, actually knowing that at some point your career is going to be over. So you should be front end, on protecting that base and automating that savings. And you shouldn't start to live a little bit differently until maybe, everything is set up and now you can actually spend. You got, all your ducks in a row, money in order. So one more time, protect your base, automate your savings, and never let your lifestyle outrun your actual wealth. And you'll be good. And once again, man, if y'all want to dig deeper into that and what that means for you personally, book a consultation with me and we'll walk through it and set up the plan to make sure that you're doing those things and you're not spending above your means. Because a lot of times people don't have an income problem. Some people do. Yes, they do. But most of the times people have a spending problem, and we tend to spend way more than we're making. All right. So to this Floyd Mayweather situation, is Floyd Mayweather broke? That I don't know. I don't know. But I do know the money persona, versus the truth, right? And those are two very, very different things. Um, because we remember him when he was Pretty Boy, and then when he turned into Money Mayweather, you know, character or not, right? But it's funny, and just sticking to this, right? They say money changes people, right? But in this case of Floyd Mayweather, it didn't just change him. I think it really kind of consumed him. For years the world has debated, right, the $1.2 billion empire, but lately the whispers are getting louder, right? From $54 million loan at 9% interest to house facing foreclosures and sudden return, to pro boxing at the age of 49 when he fights Manny Pacquiao. This is not, I repeat, this is not going to be an exhibition. He's doing an exhibition against Mike Tyson, but the Manny Pacquiao fight is going to be an actual fight, right? So people are asking, is Money Mayweather actually really broke? Um, I'm going to answer kind of vaguely, and I'll say this. His broke and our broke are two different brokes, right? His broke, our broke would be two different brokes. So even if he is quote unquote broke, it's more of a debt problem that he needs to clear up before it gets out of hand, because his borrowing is different from our borrowing, right? Just like I said, 54 million and 9%. That hit different than, your $250,000 house loan, right, at 6% interest. It just hit different. 54%, and 54 million and 9%. So we're gonna start there, right? His broke will be totally different from our broke. His broke totally different. It's not gonna be the same. I'm trying to tell you. So today we're gonna look at why the shift from Pretty Boy Floyd to Money Mayweather might have been the biggest financial mistake of his life. So we're gonna break down this financial pillar to see what we can learn from the rise and possible fall of the icon. I and this I lead into this too. Like, everybody that know me knows I'm one of the biggest Floyd Mayweather fans there is, especially in the boxing ring. I know people get caught up on how they feel about people, from the outside. We've all heard, different things about him. I don't know him personally, so I can't speak on those things at all. I know what he did in the ring, and for me, what he did in the ring was nothing short of amazing. I think that he is one of the best boxers of all time, and to me, in my lifetime personally, I haven't seen anyone better. Some people may argue Roy Jones might have been better, but to me, no. Floyd Mayweather, skills, will, it just isn't matched. So I wanted to say that, make sure this isn't coming from some hate place or nothing like that. As we talk about it, but this is something that we need to talk about, because this happens so often, especially in our community, where you see, these athletes are just caught up in the lights and glitz and everything, and feel like they got to spin, and they have this persona, this lifestyle that they feel like they have to just continue to keep up, right? So here we go. Pretty Boy Floyd changed his persona. Then he became money. I think that he realized that controversy and flamboyant wealth sold tickets, which it did, and also protecting that. Oh, right, I'm undefeated. Can't nobody beat me. Um, I think it was definitely a brilliant marketing move. So you have this over the top, flamboyant, pretty much take on the persona as the bad guy. So either you liked him or you hated him. But as he said, you was watching. But did this persona take over the person? Right? He started carrying 100K in cash and backpacks and flaunting a lifestyle that required millions in monthly overhead just to maintain. Right? In the financial pillar, we call this the status trap. You start to spend to maintain a brand, and eventually the brand starts owning you. Right? That status trap. And any person can feel this, right? On the lower level, it could be a certain brand of suits that you're buying to look a certain kind of way, right? You got that Mercedes, that Lexus, or whatever you into as far as cars, but you start to buy these things. That status trap. I make money. I feel like I should be enjoying it, so I'm gonna spend. I'm gonna spend, and not really putting away. I'll worry about that later. I got a long time before I even need to be thinking about retirement. So, status trap. Don't be the person that falls for the status trap, because the status trap is real. It's real. So, let's talk about the rumors, right? Why would a billionaire take out a $54 million loan at 9%? Now, there are a lot of reasons why. One, we know that most people tell you, and you'll learn, that people with money typically don't spend their money. They spend other people's money. They leverage debt. But in this case, right, that's not leveraging debt. That's a red flag for a liquidity crisis. If you have the cash, you don't pay 9% interest to a lender. You just don't, right? So that's a red flag. And then another red flag. Why are you coming back to sanctioning pro boxing in 2026? Right? I get the exhibition with Mike Tyson. Cool. You having an exhibition with Mike Tyson. Fans would love to see it. You and Mike Tyson, probably the two most popular, or I'm not gonna say popular, but known, especially of the modern era, right? Two most famous boxers, Mike Tyson and in the United States, and Floyd Mayweather. So that exhibition makes sense. It's definitely gonna make dollars, but then you're turning around and coming back to a full return, right? Because you need a dance partner. Who can you fight? Uh, Manny Pacquiao, which I'm pretty sure you try to fight an exhibition, and Manny Pacquiao's not fighting you in an exhibition because Manny Pacquiao wants blood, he wants revenge, he wants his lick back, and so the only way he's gonna agree to it is if y'all have a real fight. And that has me like in my feelings a little bit and just not knowing, understanding. Because like I said, when I first heard about this, I was the first person that was like, nah, man. You know what I'm saying? It's another money grab. But then all the rumors start coming up, and you like, oh, my boy need this money. I can't believe this. Because when you see a legend who has already won it at all steps, getting back into the fire is usually because the bank account is screaming for a refill. It's that simple. This is what happened when the financial pillar lacks protection. You haven't protected your base. If you don't pay yourself first and protect your base, you're forced to work forever just to pay off the interest on your own lifestyle. It's sad, man. It really is. It really is to have generated that kind of money, and now it's it's crazy. And the lessons for us to learn, right? One, right? You you don't need a Bugatti or a private jet to fall into the same trap Floyd might be in. You know, most people are Money Mayweather on a smaller scale, living for the flex, your little rollie on your wrist. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that nice little jewelry that you got. Um, you know, it might not be a hundred fleet of cars, but you got 100 pair of shoes. You know, living for the flex, man, buying things that can't afford to impress people. Um, impress people that you don't even like and that don't even like you. You know, so you have to, change things up, right? You know, success success requires you to keep the pretty boy mindset. Right? Stay humble, stay disciplined, stay focused on your foundation within the 2F 2P framework. We don't care about looking rich. We care about being free. 10 to 20% of your income needs to go to your future before you even think about buying these toys. If you can't do that, you got to let them toys be. Tell them, stay down a year, 2, 3, however long it takes. But man, why are you saying that? Like, I need to be able to enjoy my life. I need to be able to do what I want to do. I get that. Trust me. I like toys. We all got our vices. But at the same time, if I got to sit down, I'm going to sit down. You feel me? Like, I'm not going to jeopardize my freedom because I'm all about getting to freedom, that freedom number that, you know, for me to be able to do what it is that I want to do when I want to do it. I don't care about all the flash of impressing, you know, someone. You know what I mean? Why would I? Look at my hair. It's long. You know what I'm saying? Braided. You know, some people be like, bro, why you got your hair like that? You should cut it off. You know what I'm saying? Have a low cut. Cut your beard down. You know, but I do it for me. Like I don't care what people think about me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to appease anybody. And when you balancing out your life, working on your finances and your personal development, right? Your physical, working out, hitting that gym, faith, keeping that square, number one, right? When you find those four things, you have a better balanced life. You got to. In the case of Floyd, man, I just think that, all that spending, lavish living, I think it's just kind of catching up a little bit. The money didn't come in the same way, and he didn't downgrade his lifestyle when he should have, and he didn't. But he likes spending money. Money Mayweather, right? So we're going back to, is Floyd Mayweather broke? You know, the lawsuits, right? Craziness of the missing records. That's a whole nother thing in itself. The loans. It's all a lesson in accountability. If you don't watch your own money, the world will take it from you, right? Do you think Floyd Mayweather is actually broke? Or is he just the master of the pivot? Hey, man, I don't know. Y'all may know. Drop a comment below. But if you're ready to build a legacy that doesn't rely on a persona, hit that subscribe button. Let's build these pillars together. Amen. I'm out. What's your take? Is Floyd still the king of cash? Or is he just the master of keeping up appearances? Let's get into it in the comments. Hey, I don't know, man. I told you what I think. I don't know. But I did lay some evidence out there. But I know one thing. I don't want to question it. I wouldn't want to have these questions about, my financial stability. You feel me? And you shouldn't either. Next time, man. Peace.